What was it like flying the Sunset Strip? Well, I would say first of all, talk about the flyer that we see here. This is an old flyer of mine. I have it uploaded to YouTube on a song from that's called "The Boogeyman," written in 1990, and we're playing with Back Alley Sally at the Palace, Bad Blood, and Saigon Saloon. Oh, and Blackboard Jungle. And this other second show at the bottom is the Roxy with Swingin Thing, February 8th. I actually have photos from that show, a lot of photos actually from in a photo book. And let's see here, on your left is Ernie Zumaya and Joey James. Reverend Dr. Joey James was his stage name. And Ernie Zumaya generally went by Easy or Neto, because he always went by Neto anyways. That's what his parents called him, Neto. And I knew Ernie since San Diego, and anyways, you got Joey here, and the third person is Mark Avery. That's a singer. Joey was a drummer. By the way, Ernie is the guitar player. Second is Joey, drummer. Third is Mark Avery, vocals. Fourth is Scott Olson, bass. And then there's me, Keith Kessinger. And Mark was the wizard with the Kinkos. So back then you had to actually make your own flyers. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're very aware of that. So it'd be like, you'd have to cut out, like where it says the Roxy, we'd have to cut that out of a magazine and tape it, to a piece of paper. Our flyer, build a flyer by taping all these words and all these, we get professional logos, just cut it out of other magazines, like The Palace, Dirty Tricks, I guess that was found somewhere, and then put it on top of us, and take it to Kinko's, print up the flyers, hand out the flyers. Flyering on the Sunset Strip is like, I remember the very first time that we did that, parking at the bottom of the hill. We'd always, because that's where you could park for free and then walk up the hill. We were young, so walking in Hollywood was awesome, so who cares? And I just moved there actually in '89. And our whole goal was to play with Swingin Thing, as you can see at the bottom. And when I first met the guys, the first two guys, it was Joey on the second guy and Scott, the blonde guy, on bass, and they had an ad out in Rock City News or BAM, I think actually, BAM magazine, and answered the ad, and we're jamming with them. Then Joey wanted to have like a 2-guitar player band, and I was really into Bang Tango, so I was like, oh yes, that'd be great. And I know the perfect guy, Ernie from San Diego. I play with him in bands in San Diego, Ecstasy, played talent shows really. I think that's just it. Because I was literally 18 years old the day I moved to Hollywood, or to LA anyways, to Whittier. And Ernie moved up, and our audition, got the gig, moved up to Southgate, and these guys were always talking about Swingin Thing being the nicest guys, great band, would play their demo tape all the time. We'd go to the beach, cruise down Beach Boulevard, because those guys live in La Habra, which is near Whittier, so luckily they just happened to live near me, because everybody else in the ad lived in Hollywood, or something like that. Cruise down Beach Boulevard, Ernie drove a blue truck, so we'd all hop in the back of the truck when you could drive be in the back of a truck, and just rock and Swingin Thing Avenue boys, and on a summer day, going to the beach, just taking a break, having a band fun, going to the beach instead of practicing. And we did that like twice, I think, and which was really awesome. And this flyer here, I remember that we finally played with Swingin Thing. It was like almost a year later, because this is 1990, February 8th, and we formed. I met the first two guys in October of '89, so. This is a year later. He finally played with Swingin Thing, and almost a year later. But we had done a bunch of warm-up shows and played with Back Alley Sally, the band above, and that's who Mark wanted to play with, mainly because his roommate happened to be the bass player that booked all the shows, so we definitely would be on the show. And so that's how we got our foot in the door. And we were always playing with Back Alley Sally constantly. And that's with Bad Blood. So we played a lot of shows with Bad Blood. Saigon Saloon. And they're on a play. All these bands are on a playlist that I make, that I put together years ago. Like the first playlist when YouTube first started. And I've been compiling all these bands and all their songs. And they have a song called Days Go By. It's like the best song on there. It's very, good to reminisce to now, actually. And so it's very, gives you a tear, get a little tear thinking about the Sunset Strip and all those days when you're like, I'm 18 years old here, or I think I'm 19 actually. I'm 19 here. And the oldest person here is 25. That's Mark, and everybody, and Ernie's like 23. Scott and Joey are 20, I guess, because they're only 1 year older than me. So, yeah, Blackboard Jungle. The drummer was my roommate after the scene died, as they say, after Nirvana got popular, and he was my roommate. But we were always friends on the Sunset Strip. We'd go double dating him with his girlfriend and my girlfriend because they were like close friends, or they hung out in the first place, I believe. So we ended up dating like two girls from the same group of girls. So they loved to hang out and double date. So it was really fun. We'd always see bands play and stuff like that. Get a table and eat food, order food. We actually would do that. Whereas in these days we had no money at all, so we none, just enough for gas. And see, what do I remember about these shows? The Swingin Thing show we went on right after them. So with Swingin Thing, they headlined a super popular band, fantastic band. If you don't know them, they're on that playlist called, and you can just look them up anyways. But Hollywood, Sunset Strip Hollywood band, local bands is the name of the playlist, and I have like all their songs on there. Anyways, Swingin Thing. We knew that as soon as the headlining band was done, then everyone's going to leave the club. So basically, you were like practice, prepared to the moment they finish that we're going to jet out there and set up and play before their audience leaves. And we had a good crowd of our own, so they'll be there. So hopefully people go, hey, they're sticking around. Maybe. And we flyered and made friends with everybody. That's really how you do it. You can't really just hand someone a flyer. I learned the hard way. Just you'd hand out all the flyers. But anyways, you got to be friends with people. Actually be friendly, and it has to be genuine. So anyway, so all these bands are very genuinely nice, and they're all from out of state. So they're not like Hollywood guys, that's for sure. They all barely been there, like 6 months ago, or a year longest, that sort of thing. And they're from like Jersey or wherever, Cleveland. I'm from San Diego. That's that sort of thing. Anyways. So we set up and played, and it was really fun, and there was a really good crowd. And it worked, and the Swingin Thing was so nice. I believe that they deliberately, if I recall, and I forgot about this until right now, that they were like actually were on board to hurry up and get their stuff off stage as fast as possible to help us out to play as fast as possible before the crowd left. I forgot about that. Anyways, and there you go. There's the story. I'll tell more.